Our topic was industrialization and global integration. The Industrial Revolution occurred during the mid-18th century to the early 19th century. During this time, rural rises in Europe and America became industrial and urban. Industrialization brought new advances in power through coal and technology. Agricultural improvements led to an increase in population growth. Children were working in factories, which took time away from their education. Industrialization led to global inequality and growth of cities. Slave and serf systems were eliminated. Some innovations of this time were the flying shuttle, spinning jenny, steam engine, steamship, telephone, airplane, factories, mass production, assembly line, telegraph, light bulb, and electricity.
European imperialism in India. Weakening Mughal Empire allowed for the European invasion. India left to victorious party between Britain and France. The 7 Years' War, which was a war between England and France, and England ended up being victorious. The British East India Company then created with exclusive rights over British trade. This company raised an army that eradicated all French from their territory. The company used the crumbling Mughal Empire to establish administrations throughout the subcontinent. Indian Continental Congress, which was a group of well-educated Indians who began the path toward independence. European imperialism in China. China allowed European powers to trade only in the port city of Canton. They established strict limitations on what could be bought and sold. As the British gained industrial muscle, they invaded China with weapons and warships. Opium was so addictive in China that they banned it, which led to the Opium War. The Treaty of Nanking, formerly called the Treaty of Peace, Friendship, and Commerce, was signed to end the mark of the First Opium War. The Treaty of Shimonoseki was signed on April 17, 1895, between the Empire of Japan and the Qing Empire, which ended the First Sino-Japanese War. European imperialism in Africa. The Boer War, which occurred from 1899 to 1902, was a war that Britain and the Boers fought for diamonds and gold in Transvaal region, which led to the British victory. In 1912, the African National Congress was established in order to oppose European colonialism and specific South African policies. When Napoleon tried to conquer Egypt, Muhammad Ali defeated the French and Ottomans and took control of Egypt in 1805. Muhammad Ali started industrialization in Egypt and increased cotton production. When the canal was completed in 1896, it connected the Mediterranean Sea to the Indian Ocean, which eliminated the need to pass through the Cape of Good Hope. The Berlin Conference in 1884 to 1885 regulated European colonization and trade in Africa, and it encouraged colonialism.
Japan's rise to imperialism began with Matthew Perry introducing industrialization to Japan by opening trade between Japan and the United States. The signing of the Treaty of Kanagawa caused the shogun to be overthrown and Emperor Meiji to take control. Emperor Meiji began Japan's Industrial Revolution. Japan's increasing industrial power created a need to expand. Japan captured Korea from China and Manchuria from Russia. Japanese influence was spread to Korea and Manchuria through their capture.
American Revolution. From 17th to 18th century, 13 colonies helped Britain win the 7 Years' War. This led to America declaring independence from Britain. This was sparked by unfair taxes, laws, and overall mistreatment of the colonies. Britain heavily taxed colonies, spurring discontent within. America left Britain through the Declaration of Independence. Outmatched by Britain, France helped America win the war. The success in winning the war ultimately led to America becoming a global source of power and innovation.
The French Revolution began with King Louis XVI calling a meeting of the Estates General to discuss raising taxes. The Third Estate declared themselves the National Assembly and wrote multiple constitutions to reform the government. These constitutions changed France's government to a constitutional monarchy, then a republic, to a five-man ruling group called the Directory. Napoleon Bonaparte then overthrew the Directory and established a new constitution, making himself Consul of France. Napoleon then conquered much of Europe before being defeated and exiled. The Congress of Vienna then restored France's borders and government to an absolute monarchy.
Latin American independence. In Haiti, with the help of the Overture and Jacques Dessalines, Haiti became the first independent nation in Latin America. South America. Argentina, Chile, and Portugal gained independence when Simón Bolívar and José de San Martin joined forces to fight against Bonaparte. Brazil. Napoleon unsuccessfully invaded, Pedro took over and declared Brazilian independence, crowned himself emperor, and established a constitution. Mexico. Miguel Hidalgo and José Morelos led unsuccessful revolts, but through the Treaty of Cordoba, Mexico gained independence.
Italy originally was divided into multiple kingdoms under foreign control. Victor Emmanuel II placed Count Camillo Cavour as prime minister. Cavour gained parts of Italy back by siding with other European nations. Giuseppe Garibaldi organized a volunteer army to push Spain from southern Italy. Italy was finally unified after removing foreign influence from its borders. The consolidation of Germany was performed by the city-state of Prussia. King William I named Otto von Bismarck prime minister in order to have a leader that can consolidate the nation. Bismarck convinced the other nations not to help Austria during Prussia's invasion. Bismarck provoked the Franco-Prussian War to unify with the Catholic German states. King William I became the first emperor of the new German Empire, or Second Reich. Sir William II forced Bismarck to resign and restored power to the emperor. New technology and innovations changed in-house production to factory production on a much bigger scale. New inventions made daily life easier for the average human, and inventions took the idea of mastery out of being a crucial part to produce goods.
Changes in the role of women. Women had very little rights, they were heavily restricted with few freedoms, and they had little educational rights. However, they were not unaffected by Enlightenment ideals of freedom, equality, and liberty, and more feminist writers began emerging around this time of Enlightenment. At the end of the century, though, education was still being denied to women, and many movements started, including the suffragette movement, which was started to gain women's rights.